basic, which we know charges.
Oh, and you've chopped it all up.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, our friend, civilian named Sarah, but many other names, I'll tell you that story later, is just going to go and do 15 miles that she needs to catch, and then she's going to come and catch up with us. Yeah. Walk safely.
Always.
Joe, what are you doing? Charge, what are you doing?
Search party.
Search party 911, lost and found. We'll fill in the blanks later. Yeah, but be safe. Be dry.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
Toodles.
And give your parents our best.
I will, for sure.
Lost already? Surely not. There she goes. Creep.
Over the river and through the woods.
Meanwhile, we're still cleaning up because we need to make sure that we do all our jobs before we go. And we're waiting for the rain to stop. We've had a lovely, oh God, unbelievable. I just stepped backwards to take a photo of the house and stepped into a large puddle. I'm not even on the trail. I just wanted to say that we've had a wonderful stay in this lovely house and in this lovely neighborhood in Damascus, Virginia. Incidentally, that is a hiker hostel. Thank you, Damascus, Virginia, for housing us. Thank you, Nancy and Dave, for looking after us. It's been sensational. It's been such a relief to not just be inside, but to have all that, your wonderful hospitality and care. We really appreciate it. So, what you got?
This is maple cotton candy, or candy floss,
yep,
as some of the rest of the world talks about. But it's made with maple sugar and maple syrup, so it tastes like you are eating maple syrup, and it's wonderful.
And is it like a taste of your youth?
Yeah, a little bit, and also just you need some sugar in the morning.
We need a lot of sugar to get up there. Are we going up a big hill to start off with?
A little. It's
even down you need sugar, right?
Yeah, of course.
Precisely. Oh, well, I look forward to maybe just sampling a little bit. That's it. Is that a wrap, Nancy?
I think it is.
Ah, goodbye, lovely house. It's been sensational. It's been great.
There was a good song on, that's why it was loud. Yeah, when I was in Tennessee.
In the car with Mama and Papa Sloth. Oh, we're eating again already. I'm taking a video of Nancy taking a photograph. Thank you, Charge, you're very kind. Slightly inclement conditions. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna stay in the car, not get out of the car. It's awful. $9:25 and we're back on trail. You can see Papa Sloth and Mama Sloth behind us. It was very hard to get out of the car. The weather up here is just a bit misty and windy and cold. And we've been so warm and toasty, but we've just got to get going. I'll come to Charge at some stage and possibly to Sloth. There may be a bit of complaining about the fact that we had to leave. the warmth, but those miles won't walk themselves. Here we go. I haven't filmed much this morning because it's been really wet and rainy, but got a bit of a reprieve, and there were just 3 things I was going to say. First is, when we were thinking that we'd been driven to the top of Mount Rogers, the highest mountain in Virginia, and that we'd missed climbing it, we were wrong. Got dropped off this morning, and four and a half miles of climbing to get to the Mount Rogers summit. So there you go. Second thing I was going to say was, we are just about to come up on the 500 mile mark. We're about 2.5 miles away from cracking 500 miles, so that is incredibly exciting. And the third thing I was going to say was, what a difference calories make. You know, the climb this morning's been good. When you've eaten lots of food, we had a beautiful dinner last night, cooked by Nancy, real food. Charge got his triple baked potatoes, oh my goodness me. And we've had a really beautiful breakfast this morning, cooked by Dave and Nancy. It makes such a difference, you've got so much more energy. So there you go. It's starting to rain again, I might just put my phone away. We're going to stop here for a bit, just to dry out, warm up, and just try and work out what we do with the rest of our day, because, yeah, the trail is a bog and pretty uncomfortable. So let me give you an update of the current situation. We walked 7-ish miles to Thomas Knob shelter just before the 500 mile mark, and the weather, as you've seen, has been absolutely appalling. So we got to the shelter just before midday, freezing cold and really wet. Got in the shelter. There's been some guys who've been staying in there for the last 24 hours because the weather's been so bad. And the issue is this. There is a shelter 11 miles up the track, which was our original intended location, but it only has 6 spots. And if you can't get a spot in the shelter, you are not allowed to camp, and there's nowhere to camp around there. So if we hiked on and that shelter was full of people sheltering from the rain, we would have to hike on another 6 or 7 miles to a shelter that was another 16 miles away, well, or 17 miles away. That is just not something we're prepared to risk. So we made the executive decision about an hour ago that we would just take the 7 miles, that we would get into bed, make up our beds, get into bed, eat some food, stay warm, and just stay here for the rest of the day. I think the weather is improving this afternoon, but that doesn't change the risk of getting down the trail and not being able to get into a shelter. So we are going to stay here. I'm going to edit my video. I'm going to climb into my sleeping bag. It's a double-story shelter, and we're very cozy. And we've had hot chocolate, we've had tea, we've eaten Nancy's cookies. I wish I'd brought more. And we're really comfy and cozy, so I think that's a comfortable decision. and it's a really safe decision. Look at that. Clearly we're out of Tennessee because we now have a Privy. So let's go and see how Thomas Knob Shelter Privy. Oh, my goodness me. Let's have a look. This looks quite luxurious. Hang on, hang on. Oh, there's an accessibility ramp, which is kind of interesting because, in all honesty, there's no way that you could get up here without walking. And we've got, oh, I'll zoom out. Again, accessibility rails. And I've got to say, this is rather good. I'm well impressed. Excellent. I think this probably rates a solid 6 or 7 out of 10. (7:18) and we're back on trail. Yesterday was miserable. It was cold, it was extremely wet, and as I said yesterday, we made a practical and pragmatic decision to hunker down at the Thomas Knob Shelter. We all set up our beds and basically spent most of the day in our sleeping bags, doing something we hadn't done for 4.5 weeks, which was nothing. But we were all warm. Today we are going to, not quite sure what we're going to do. We've got 6 miles to the next shelter, and we're going to stop and have a hot drink because, had I mentioned, it was cold. It's really cold. And then we'll just keep moving along. We'll push on. Rose, aka Search Party, aka 911, is coming up behind us and may catch us today or tomorrow. She was able to complete her section yesterday, but up on this mountain it was just brutal. So I will come back to charge, but at the moment we're just moving to stay warm. And I know, finally, it's just been waiting for us. 500 miles.
News alert.
What?
Breaking.
What?
509 miles, .2.
Because of?
The approach trail.
There you go.
We count it.
Now it's time for the Proclaimers song. I have walked 500 miles. because we have walked 500 miles, as Charge would say, 509.2, of course counting the approach trail. So well, that's a big win, just a few minutes in this morning. It's the goal that we couldn't quite attain yesterday. Right, marching on. Let's march into our 600th mile. Grayson Highlands State Park. Okay. Kind of crapoly weather still. You can see it, but right down there on the hill in front of us are ponies. Then again, I don't have my glasses on, they could be cows. They're ponies, thank you, Sloth. Bit of construction here. We'll just work out where we go. So that's a orange diamond up there. Through the fence, I think. Let's have a look. What does it say with the Appalachian Trail? Oh,
Enter.
I wonder what's through the fence. Thank you. We're at welcome to the Grayson Highlands State Park. Bear or where? Yeah, we know about that. This is where we are. And oh, there's even a lovely seat here to enjoy the view. I don't think we'll be sitting on it. Let me have a look and see what Charge is reading about. He's reading about what the Grayson Highlands are really famous for. It's the ponies. If we're really lucky, we might see some ponies today. Okay, Charge, let's go find a horse or a pony, because they're different. Good morning, Charge. Did you want to say something?
Hi, Flash. Yeah, I want to talk about 3-time cooked potatoes.
No, we're not doing potatoes. How let's about we talk about yesterday?
But, you know, Mama and Papa Sloth specially cooked them for me the other night.
I know they did.
It was a
So,
treat.
did it help yesterday for you?
No, we managed 7 miles, wet and cold, got to the shower at midday, hot drinks, pulled out our gear, slept all afternoon, had something to eat, and then went to bed again about 7 o'clock last night. Woke up this morning at 6 on the trail.
Yep.
And already we've done half what we've done a third of what we did yesterday.
I know. And someone told us that was flat, that we've just done. How flat was that? There was no flat in that trail.
Nothing.
Let's go find a pony.
Okay, let's wait.
I can see it. Okay. The first of many, but there is actually a pony just over there. We'll have a little zoom in. Hello, pony. Hi, guys. How you doing? Don't want to chat? Fair enough. You hide behind those rhododendron bushes. .7 miles. It's 9:30 in the morning and we have decided it's time for a cup of tea. And the thing that's kind of cute about this shelter is that given that we've had no privies in Tennessee at all, this Virginian shelter, would you believe, has 2 privies. So that's sensational. Oh, this is a nice little shelter.
G'day, Flash.
Hello, Charge. This is a nice shelter. I'm just saying, after all of the no privies in Tennessee, look, this Virginia shelter's given us 2.
2, and they're awesome.
Are they nice shelters?
I can talk from experience.
I will go and do the privy report shortly. And how is little Sloth, Big Sloth?
He's getting dry again, but he's still a little damp.
How's
so.
Big Sloth? Is he
Big
drying
Sloth
out?
is great.
Is
yeah.
he? Hot chocolate?
Hot chocolate time. My shoes are almost dry, then it'll be a perfect day.
It will be a perfect day. There's blueberries up there. Oh, pity we're a wee bit early for the blueberries. But it's warmed up, we've warmed up, and it's pretty through here. We're getting to enjoy some of this pretty Virginia landscape. Little Wilson Creek Wilderness. Maximum group size 10. I wonder why. At the moment, a main feature of the trails is a lot of poop. We saw pony poop, but there are huge piles of poop. Haven't seen the animals that have created it, but it's turned into a really beautiful day, and I'm starting to enjoy it now. I feel like I'm defrosting, and the colours up here are beautiful. I can only imagine what it's like when the trees are changing colour in autumn, but there's oranges and reds and pinks. They're just lovely. Oh, chargers charging. We're doing a bit of a shelter crawl today. Breakfast at one shelter, morning tea at another shelter, and we're going to have lunch here. It's been a really lovely walk this morning, apart from when I fell over and smashed my face on the rock. Okay, I have to stop injuring myself. Bruised ribs and a smashed up face. That's probably enough for now. Okay, I haven't done a Privy check. I was going to do a Privy check, but I don't need to use it, and I can't be bothered walking the extra distance. I promise that I will show the Privy at the next location. Joe is insisting I keep that silly plaster on the top of my lip to stop the bugs getting in, so I'm currently walking around looking very Norman Gunston-ish. That's that's a historical television reference with something stuck on the bleeding patch on the top of my lip. So having bruised my ribs 2 days ago or so, and now smashed my face on a rock, I think that's my turn for injuries. I think I need to watch where I'm going and stop filming so much. So there's going to be a little bit less. Excuse me, that was lunchtime almonds. A little bit less coverage today, but I promise that I will be back. Oh, so it's trees falling on you when you're camping. It is a dead tree. That's right. So if you camp underneath it in extreme weather, it's a problem. Okay. Lead on, McDuff. We're nearly there. I wouldn't like that to fall on me. Let's check out the hurricane shelter and see what it's like. Water down there. Hurricane shelter. Oh, up steps. Really? And of course, you know, the name hurricane, when referring to a shelter, is slightly ominous. But let's see. I think this is a shelter that's got a bit of space in it. But if it's too squishy, Charge and I may pitch our tent. Lovely to see a beer box. Saves us a whole bunch of effort. And this is looking... I know who graffitis a beer box. I have no idea. It's ridiculous. And this is the shelter. It looks okay. Looks very nice. From a shelter perspective, there's a table and someone swept it.
Yeah.
And let's just have a look at what the outlook is. Yeah. Okay, Sloth and Charge have gone off to find firewood because we're going to light a fire at this beautiful shelter that we're staying in. But I thought I should probably do the Privy check, give it a rating. You know, these Virginian Privies have been looking very, very nice. They're quite new. And, oh, let me just zoom out a little bit. Oh, nice. Very, very nice. And it's got a toilet seat, and it's, well, which you need. And wood shavings to throw on afterwards. So another really lovely Privy. Again, with an accessibility ramp. But, yeah, no chance you're not going to get here. What a really lovely campsite this is. Or shelter, I should say. We have got here quite early. And there's a really great setup for a campfire. So we've made our beds up. We've all been down at the creek getting our water for millions of cups of tea and hot chocolate. And right in front of that lovely table that we've got to sit at, if I turn around, you can see that there is a campfire. So we are going to not cook on it, but just sit around it and enjoy it. It's really, really beautiful here. It's been a lovely walk today, only 17 miles, but very, very enjoyable.
What you doing, Sloth?
Keeping the fire burning hot.
Just keep on staying on.